Alright YouTube, so this is my first DIY video, do it yourself. I'm going to cover two things, the overflow, which you see there, and the sump, which is down there. I built both of these. I'll give you a quick rundown of the tools you need and how to do it, from what I've seen, what I've researched, and hopefully I'll be able to cover a couple of things that other people might have missed that might have helped me along the way. All the tools and everything I got was at Home Depot. First off, you have right here is your saw. It's a little handheld. One blade is all I needed. You don't have to buy any extra blades. It's adjustable. You could set it in as far back in the handle as you want. I also bought this thing, which looks like a mafia murder weapon, which helped me cut the pipe also. I stood on top of it, cut a little groove into the pipe, just enough so that this wire would fit, and then stood over it and you just saw it back and forth. Okay, here's the overflow. I would put the specs down, but it's going to vary according to your tank. A lot of the plans I saw online and the plans that I used have numbers and blah blah blah, but it's going to vary. So what I did with mine is I mocked it up inside of the tank, which is right there, 40 gallons, and eyeballed it and adjusted it accordingly to where I think I wanted it. So, another thing you need, tape measure and a marker to mark what you're going to use. Basically, here's a part that's going to come, the water's going to come over here into that tube, down. There's a check valve. Picked this up at Walmart. I know there's another guy on here that said that he got it at Walmart. I also got it there. Same blue color. They also sold the air hose, the air line. I'm sorry, it's 8 feet. It was only a couple bucks. I think the check valve was $3. That's the direction of air out. And then this is a T. It's going to go to the sump. And this part I designed and built. Nothing crazy. Bought the ball valves to adjust the flow. And this actually plugs into there. And when it's plugged in, it comes down. And that drops into the sump. This was very easy to make. It took maybe a couple hours, just because I wanted to measure the stuff, mock it up, make sure everything was right. It's not cemented together. I'm still going to sand it, paint it. I think I'm going to go with black and paint the backside of the tank along there. Black also, so that it blends with that. Now we'll get over to the sump. The sump is a 20-gallon long. The dimensions, I believe, for mine are 23 long. It's going to be about 15 and a half, 15 and 3/4 tall. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. It's 15 deep. And shit, I don't know. But like I said, all this stuff's going to vary according to your tank. I'm no expert on the subject matter, but I don't think all two tanks are measured the same. I had first bought Lexan, I don't know if you can see the sheet back there, and tried measuring that, cutting that. That turned out to be a giant pain in the ass. Did a couple cuts, broke the pieces, and said screw that noise. So what I did is I looked up places online that would cut glass. I found over here in San Diego, Ace Hardware. I could buy the glass, give them the measurements, and they would cut it. So there's two things with glass. A, it sucks. It's noisy and it's fragile, and I don't know, it's hard to work with for me. I don't have any prior glass experience. And it cost me about $33, I believe, for 4 pieces. See, one piece here. This is a return to pump, to tank. I'm sorry. Pump would be located in here. The refugium. Here's a bubble trap. Those 3 sheets. So for those 3 and that one, cost me $33 for the glass and to have them cut it. Once the glass is cut, I don't I didn't plan on cutting the glass after that, but it's kind of a one-shot deal. Either you get it right or you don't, so be careful when you measure it. Mine were off a little bit. I don't know if you can tell in this video, but the pieces aren't exactly straight. But, yeah, a little gap difference there. But just kind of got it as best as I could. Held it in place with some Scotch tape. Also at Home Depot, used a level to hold up to the glass this way to make sure the pieces were somewhat level on the front and all the way in the back side and top to bottom, left to right. And then this is the aquarium safe silicone, also found at Home Depot. It's by DAP. It says household adhesive sealant for ceramics and aquariums. It's about a little under $5 a bottle. I bought 2 of them, and this is what's left over from the one, and I only siliconed these 3 sheets in. As far as the measurements, I did what I thought would work best for me. There's there's a skimmer, and this, from this piece to the end, is 5 inches, 1 inch here, 1 inch here, approximately. And then this piece is lifted off of the bottom 1 inch. When I siliconed it, I did each section individually. I did this piece first. You can get on both sides. You can see silicone on this side and on this side. All the way up, all the way down, and all the way to the back. Let it sit for 24 hours, water tested it. Then I installed, I believe it was this piece. Did it on, no, I installed the middle piece first. Did it on both sides. And then I installed this piece only on one side, along the bottom, water tested it. And then this last section, same thing. Run the silicone along. If you're nerded out with silicone, it's pretty easy. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get it out of the tube, but what you do is you just run your finger along the groove like this, and you just kind of press down slightly. Very slight pressure. You don't want to squeeze it all out. You want to push it into the whatever the crack is in between here, because like I said, my pieces of glass didn't fit in there perfect and straight, so I wanted to make sure that I got the silicone all the way in and all the way down. Now the tips, I cut mine, it says cut at a 45-degree angle. It's more or less 45 degrees. You can cut it, the farther down you cut it, the bigger the bead of silicone is going to be. I cut it to what I thought worked. I would have cut it a little bit farther down, give me a wider bead, but at the same time I didn't want it to look like there's a shitload of silicone everywhere. So you can tell it's pretty small beads up here. It's pretty heavy in the back and on the bottom because there is a little bit of a gap. But yeah, that's what it looks like when it's dried and all that. So the water's going to come from the overflow, which will be up there, down the back, over, and into the sump. Skimmer, back, bubble trap, down, up, down, the refugium here, sand, rocks, algae, and the water will flow up over into here, so it'll return to the tank and up to the back. Now I'm piecing this tank together slowly because building a saltwater tank can be expensive, and I did the DIY stuff not just because it saves me money, which is part of it, but I like to build stuff, so it gave me a chance to build some things, and when it's done you have a little bit more pride in it knowing that you built it yourself, designed, built, and all that fun stuff. So like I said, 40 gallon long, there's a power head, got that off of streefs.com. The tank and stand got from Craigslist, and there we go. So here's the first vid. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if I missed anything, or if you have any questions about anything. Like I said, this is my first time building this stuff for a tank. I'm pretty mechanically inclined. It wasn't that hard. to be honest. Anybody could pretty much do it if I could. Thanks, you guys. Take it easy.